What's up, guys? Back again live streaming. I'm sorry I haven't gotten any videos this week or anything, but basically I'm going to be doing some track critique. I haven't done that in a while. I can't stream for long. I can only stream for a little bit, which is why I'm just doing this kind of, spur of the moment. I didn't really put a ton of thought into it because this probably isn't going up on YouTube. Basically, I'm going to critique your tracks. You can, if anybody's watching this on the live stream right now, you can send your tracks to me in a message. This is my SoundCloud account, and I'll review it. I don't know how many people I'm going to get to. If I miss people, I'm sorry. I just missed. I'm sorry. I don't have time to do everyone today. I'm just doing a few people because I was bored and I haven't done anything recently. So let's do this. All right. Let's see when people get here. Hey. Alright, we got some people. Oh boy, the stream looks low quality, or is that just me? Oh yeah, it's because I'm watching it in 240p. How high am I? Oh, I'm live streaming in 1080p. That's nice. Okay, anyways, y'all know the drill. Link in the description. I'm going to be reviewing your track. Basically, I'm not going to be sugarcoating stuff. If you send me a track and the track is crap, I'm gonna say, all right, this is a bad track. These are the areas you need to work on. I'm not being mean in any way. I just want to be to the point. I think that a lot of people, including me, when they do their track reviews, they kind of sympathize, having been there once, and they don't want to bash them and say their track is bad or anything. But if I'll listen to some of the stuff that, first of all, I'm reviewing sometimes and other people are reviewing, and it will not be good. It'll be just really bad. And there's really nothing you could say except you need to just keep doing it and work some more, I'll just let you guys know kind of where you're at. It's a good thing that I wish people had done to me more. I'd gotten that a little bit, but not nearly as much. So here we go. All right, we already got someone. Let's see. This one is over in Puerto Rico. We have no power, sadly. Oh, you know Sonic Killer? That's cool. Yeah, I was talking to him. Yeah, he said he's fine. He's just gotta get internet and everything back. I would say you can send it in the comments, but there's no way to know where you are amongst everyone else. So, sorry, dude. Alright, cool. Anyway, let's get right into this. Someone sent the clip it first. Let's open that up. Alright, so we got some Death Step here. I've been kind of into Death Step lately, and you have the idea here is good. Great tip, by the way. No, it's actually not. Don't do that. It kind of sounds like what you're doing here because you're really distorting it. Yeah, a little more high end on the drums. That would be nice. The kick punches through very, very well. You did a good job with that. The snare does not, however. Either add more snappiness and punch to the kick with something else. Also, if you're going for a Death Step vibe, you want to add that pan snare thing. It's just like something like that. It can literally be a pan. I'm finishing up a Death Step track and I literally use this pan that I recorded from my kitchen, and it sounds really good. But yeah, the main basses, I feel like the main bass could be a lot more powerful. You want more saturation or distortion or whatever, multi-band compression, anything to just add power. The main basses sound good, but it also just needs more structure. Like I started out, you know, headbanging fine, and that's all well and good, but then it gets to the parts in here, like I just got completely off rhythm there. And off rhythm. Did I seriously just say that? Anyway, I got completely off rhythm, and like it turns out I was headbanging on the wrong beat. Like I'm trying to find where I am. It's not very great. So ideas there. Yeah, some melodic elements, especially if you do like just some like higher plucks to get a kind of a key, because there isn't really a key to this track. It's just sound effects and everything. If you make more basses or some kind of just, you know, minimal melodic elements that are in a certain key, that'll help me follow along a lot better, you know, musically. So yeah, keep it up. Let's see what else. I just did that. Dusty. Heavy Death. Oh boy.
Gangsters don't speak, no love for the police. Everybody knows I'm dope when I'm riding the beat. Every time I touch mic, flames come alive. And every time I'm riding, you know that it's hard.
It was so hype. Where's the sub bass? There's no sub, dude. What are you? What? No. I wanted that sub bass. Okay, and first off, while I'm paused it, those Windows sound effects, that's a cool idea. It's a cool idea, and I'm not gonna lie here. It sounded interesting. It did not go with the track. I'm sorry, you don't use the Windows sound effects for this specific track. Do that for something else. Maybe like just something with less. I needed something like huge, like bass, kind of neuro-y, just crazy kind of fills right there. I didn't need Windows sound effects. So cool idea, not really the right track for it. So yeah, really, Heavy Death. Yeah, could use a different title. A little more high end on the kick. Other than that, literally the basses sound great. You don't have sub bass. You need the sub. A lot more reverb on that air horn too. Sorry, just a note.
And flows, I'm killing the doors, and everybody knows when it's mine, I'm on the pros. You can't fuck with the street, cause I'm dope on the beat, and every time I'm in the booth, yeah, I'm dropping the heat.
I like the Sultan inspiration. Sounds pretty good. Just make sure to add your own spin on it, you know what I'm saying? majorly distorting here. High pass should kick. Alright, the change, the little like kind of triplets. Well, no, but it wasn't really a triplet change. But basically, that went okay until the drums started distorting. You should either lower the bass on your kick there or just straight up high pass it so you don't have any sub, and then bring the high pass up, do that whole thing so it's like right up to before the drop. It sounds pretty good. But for that kind of drop, the drop itself is a little more minimal than the first drop. You kind of drop the cymbals, or at least as far as I've listened to it. But the build up and everything right before the drop was like really full, and there was a bunch of stuff going on. For this, what you should probably do is like a full bar before you drop. You should go silent and then have like a vocal or something, and then the drop comes in, you know, just something like that, so you're not overwhelmed at the build up and then the kind of slightly emptier drop hits. But well, I think the 808 and stuff kind of came a little bit out of nowhere. I wasn't really prepared for it, like this sort of trap. The trappish vibe, it kind of came out of nowhere. It sounds alright. I'm not that big into it, but I've done that kind of thing before where it goes from dubstep into like trap at the end. I just make it a little bit smoother, like you suddenly have an 808 with bass that you were missing from the drop. So I think a lot of things will be fixed once you just add the sub bass. So do that. All right, let's see who else we got. Okay, way down here, R3D. I was about to say RD3. Let's do this.
Turn up the bass and make them all have fun. How we a blaze the fire, make it fun. Then we mash up the bass, turn up the bass and make some fun. Why run? And we will end your week just like a fun. Then we mash up the bass, turn up the bass and make them all have fun. Skrillex a blaze the fire, make it fun. Then we mash up the bass, turn up the bass and make some fun. Why run? And we will end your week just like a Sunday.
Okay, required to build up. Drop came out of nowhere. Like, I didn't dislike the drop, it just came out of nowhere. Like, I was expecting it to go like, and then we end your week just like a Sunday, and then it like maybe like do like trails off, and then it would like, you know, build tension and then go into the build up and whatever, and then, you know, do all that kind of thing. But it just went directly into the drop. So not that the drop is bad, I mean, it's not great, but it kind of just caught me off guard, I'm pretty sure, is just the best way to put it. Also, the basses aren't bad. Like, I'm not a fan of them, I guess I would say. but they need to be louder and they need to be a little stronger, especially when you're not putting a ton of stuff in the background. This isn't a super full track. It's supposed to be, you know, like a reggae dubstep, a little more minimal, kind of like the original one. And how you should do that, you need to make your basses really strong and really fat. So if you can hear the bass on its own and it sounds really, really good, that's how it should be. You should hear OTT or Sound Goodizer. You put that on your basses, crank it, you'll be good. Also, the chords aren't, I'm not a big fan of the chords. I guess just because they're super sauce. That's all they are. Like if you layer them with like brass or like some kind of really fast ARP or something like that, it'll just add more layers to that melodic part, or maybe even just a lead over it could make it sound that much better. But just do a little more on that melodic element to kind of keep the attention, because it sounds very basic right now. Same things that I just said apply, but that change up is pretty dope. That was pretty cool. Yeah, really good job with the second half of the drop. That was pretty good. Okay, that part was freaking lit. I was really jamming to that. That sounded good. Here's the build-up I was looking for.
Blaze the fire, make it burn them.
Alright, so all of this part, super awesome, very good job with that. The drop, I just feel like it didn't hit very hard, like I really thought it would, especially with this fill. Like,
blaze the fire, make it burn them.
Like there wasn't really anything new. I was almost expecting like something a lot heavier to happen there, like there to be a lot more complex and a lot more stuff going on instead of just the original kind of minimal drop. So that's what I was expecting. That's what I would have done. That's kind of what I suggest. Obviously, if that's not really your style, then you don't have to do that. I'd say in that situation, you kind of have to tone down the build-up then, as cool as it is. Like if your build-up is more exciting than your drop, or at least your second drop, then it's not, then you shouldn't have that big of a build-up. I've ran through that problem. Like I'll be making a track and I'll make the drop and everything. I'll be like, oh, that sounds good. And now I'm making the intro, and I make the intro and the build-up and everything, and I do all this stuff. I'm like, oh, this sounds awesome. And then I play it next to the drop, and the intro is just, it's so much better than the drop itself that it makes the drop sound weak. And I have to add a little bit to the drop and tone down the intro a little bit. So it's not, you hate doing that, but sometimes you just have to do it, you know? outro is pretty cool. All right, overall, good job. Just needs touching up where I've showed you. It's overall it's a pretty solid track. So nice one. All right, let's see. Autumn Hate. That's what's up. Let's check this out. All right, I can tell this is going to be quality content. I can tell this track is completely finished. You've done everything you possibly can to it because it sounds amazing. I can never get even close to this. I might as well just quit music now because listen to this. Oh, that pitch down. So good. Anyway, seriously though, neat intro. It's a cool idea for an intro. Like, it's really like melodic and chill, and then it goes into something more aggressive. It didn't keep me entertained that much, probably because it did start out a lot more like laid back and melodic, and then it went into everything. But basically, the build up, too much sidechaining. Just it's good to add sidechaining on the build up. Just there's way too much. It just shouldn't be as much sidechaining in the build up as there is in the drop. You don't want it to sound, the drums to sound that powerful, because it's like, because how much ducking it's doing in my headphones, it just feels weird. It doesn't really feel right to me. Also, I'm not going to go into stuff about the drop because I've heard your drops before. They're freaking sick, and I know you know how to mix, and I know you know how to do stuff properly. So I'm not going to go into that because obviously it's a work in progress. But yeah, finish it and then send it to me so I can hear it again. All right. Yeah, who doesn't love them some Autumn Hate? Alright. Body Killers. Let's do this.
We are standing on the balcony and dancing in the pouring rain. Please don't feed me your black and white. Sick and tired of the typical, I want it on a shade of gray. Hollywood, the land of stars. Shattered dreams will break your heart. Ribbed and jewels to look the part. It's my anthem, it's my anthem. Crystal glasses, chandeliers. Cameras flash at big premieres. Welcome to the new frontier. Can we get some? Can we get some?
All right, I'm just gonna stop it there. The intro and build up and everything, it was dragged out. It felt dragged out. It didn't keep me entertained. Like the first half of it did. All right, like I was listening on, I'm like, okay, all right, that's nice. It's very basic, you know, the classic kind of those wubbing. Why can't I speak? Future bass chords in the intro, and then you got the vocals. The vocals sounded nice, but it just needs a little more flair, and you know, especially so I'm just skipping through towards the end, like, all right, when do things change up? Also, that being said, the drop kind of comes out of nowhere. Like, I wasn't really prepared for it. And in one way, that's a good thing. But in this way, it's really not, because it doesn't blow me away. It just takes me off guard. Because the sound design, I'm not really into the sound design. It sounds old, I think, in my opinion. This is the kind of old sound design. It doesn't really flow together, and that's not something that can be taught when you're mixing those kind of basses together to make a track. This is what I was told when I once sent my track in for a review at Cymatics. They were saying that it was pretty much the basses were not flowing together correctly. They didn't really match. They didn't fit. And that's just over experience, kind of like cooking. You learn, you know, what ingredients works with other ingredients. That's not something that can be just magically shown. There isn't a chart or anything. You just kind of have to learn that way. Also, I'm not hearing any like hi-hats or cymbals or anything really in the background to fill out space, so that's also missing.
Hollywood, the land of dream. Nothing's ever what it seems. Holy water, make me clean. Can we get some? Can we get some? Crystal glasses, chandeliers, cameras, the anthem.
Before I get into what's going on with the drop, again, if you added a lot of stuff in here between the drops, it's a lot of the same thing. There wasn't any new sounds coming in. It didn't keep my attention. This isn't something that I would really want to listen to in the car or something like that. Like, I'd get through maybe like the first half and then switch it. Not because it's bad, just because it goes on and on of like the same thing. It's 5 minutes and 30 seconds of this. And then the drum and bass drop, like, also came a little out of nowhere, and I guess it's not as much just the fact that it's drum and bass, just that there isn't, I guess the total of it, summing it up, is I think it should be a little more of a melodic track, a little more of a melodic drop when that happens. There should be more melodic elements involved instead of just going all hardcore, because you don't really get any sense of pitch again, and the melody just kind of stops right there. So, yeah, the drop just doesn't really fit the rest of the song, I don't think. So you have good ideas for this one, and it does sound like it's not mainstream, because it is still like this kind of dubstep, but you are bringing a little bit of that pop EDM in the other one, in like the intro and, you know, the bridge. I can't speak. Oh, what am I trying to say? You get it. I've said what needs to be said. You understand. Also, just one more tip: if you're gonna do the double time drum and bass then have that kind of building up here, like have in the background some drums that are kind of high passed and low passed, just going, you know. And I get the little thing that's going, like I get that, but you should also add a kind of element there just to give you a hint at what's about to come. Yeah, words, I can't. Jesus Christ. Okay. Anyway, yeah, cool. Let's see, I have a lot of people. Just Though is next. My last drop just went viral. Alright. Nice phaser on the master channel. I'm not sure how wise that is, but I'll continue.
$26,000 worth of sides? What are these sides? They cure cancer? The sides do cure cancer. That's the problem. They were there. That's why they were expensive. Shut the fuck up.
So far, I don't like it. The intro, and if there even was a build-up, you could say, it's just weird. Like there isn't really any structure to it. There's nothing to really follow along. I don't know. Yeah, really. I don't even know what's happening. It's like, and you put the phaser on the master. Why? Why are you putting a phaser on a master channel? I don't get it. And like the drop came out of nowhere. Even when the drop came, it was like. It had interesting elements, but it's so messy and like it's cluttered. There's no layout here. It's like, you know, so a lot of people who don't like dubstep, who will say that dubstep is just a messy array of electronic sounds. And no, it's not. There's obviously some theory involved, but I'm sorry to say this is kind of a little near the mark to that.
It's a fucking prostitution ring. 26. Fucking prostitution ring. Fucking.
Yep. I don't know. Let's see if it changes up. You think it was a joke? I don't know. I'm just going to assume that it's not a joke. I'm sorry, but it's not very good. It's interesting. Some parts of it are interesting. Like the kind of basses you use would be interesting if they were like... It'd be interesting if it sounded good, pretty much, is what I'm trying to say here. Yeah. We can move on from that. Not really sure what to say about that, but okay. Hellbow, let's do this. Bass claps. Oh, getting some bass house. Let's do this.
the bass, 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 yeah. Hear the bass clap. Yeah. Hear the bass. Yeah. Hear the bass. Bass.
All right. Yeah, the track is a bit bright. It's a little. There's too much crisp, piercing high end, and it sounds a little too compressed there. I'm just gonna say that. During this build up, we need more rising action. We need stuff going up and flowing. I'm wanting to hear a siren riser in the background. Just like this is gonna sound stupid, but here we go.
Hear the bass. 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 Yeah, hear the bass clap.
Like if you just add a durr, just something like that, it'll increase the tension that much. And yeah, that sounded stupid. I don't even know what it sounded like. Up and flowing, I'm about to hear that. Hang on. Just like this is gonna sound stupid, but here we go.
Hear the bass. 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 Yeah, hear the bass clap.
But even just me doing that, you can hear the difference it makes. Like the tension just rises that much more. Yeah, the yeah, the main bass is a little muddy. It's a little muddy. It's not that great. Just needs a little refinement. It doesn't grab me like, oh, that's a cool bass. If you're gonna have a main bass, you don't want it to be that you don't want it to be that simple. You want it to have like cool stuff going on, especially in bass house. Oh, I like that where it's like that kind of glitch. Yeah, like on the outside you can hear it. It sounds really dope. I love that. But yeah, so better sound design is definitely needed. A layering of effects and stuff like that. Sorry, the sample pack. It's supposed to be FM-ish. Yeah, I kind of get that. Spectral going Super Saiyan on us. Royalty free, yeah. Oh boy. I knew that was a bad idea. Okay, anyways. Yeah, cool. Let's move on. I just did... Who did I just do? Yeah. Wait. But I just did just though. What? I'm so confused. Who did I just do? I didn't do... Hold up. Yeah, that was the demon. Okay. So I did that, and just the... What? What just happened? Okay, I hate SoundCloud messaging. Alright. I'm pretty sure this is next. So, let's do this. Any bass sounds? I'm floating. What? Alright. Anyway, I'm just going to continue.
Turn up the bass and make them all have fun. Relax and blaze the fire, make it fun. We must up the place, turn up the bass and make them all have fun. Relax and blaze the fire, make it fun. We must up the place, turn up the bass and make them all have fun. Relax and blaze the fire, make it fun. We must up the place, turn up the bass and make them all have fun. Relax and blaze the fire, make it fun. We must up the place, turn up the bass and make them all have fun.
It's very repetitive. It's not that entertaining. There should just be more stuff going on, honestly. Also, there's this weird, like, delay. I don't know if it's, like, a delay in the drums or something like that, because I'm listening to it, and it's on beat, but there's this weird, like, delay swing thing. It's triggering me. Like, I'm sorry. I guess that's just not my style, because I've heard that in a lot of songs, and a lot of people like it. But I'm just telling you right now, I'm properly triggered.
Fun. Relax and there's the fire, make it fun. Run, 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 run. And we will end the week just like a Sunday.
Okay, that was pretty dope. That was neat. Okay, now a lot of people would say that that's too chaotic, that there's too many things going on at once, that too many bases are going around, they're all fighting for attention. I personally love it. I love that style, honestly. Like, so many of my friends, like some friends who even listen to dubstep and stuff like that, just tell me that my stuff is really chaotic and doesn't have any flow to it. I can hear the flow and stuff like this, and I really like the way you did that second half of the drop. First half of the drop, I wasn't very impressed. Like, it was cool. Like, it had a nice vibe, but it wasn't something that blew me away. I like the second half of the drop a lot. As far as the mixing in the drop, it's consistent, but it's not consistently amazing. Like, and what I mean by that is you don't have things flowing around everywhere that they flow together, basically, is what I'm saying. It all flows together. Oh, Tev is here. I gotta report him. Hang on. Report. Oh, I accidentally made him a moderator. Okay. Well, he's a moderator now. You're welcome, Tev. Anyway, as I was saying, it all flows together very nicely. Just the mixing in general is not that great. That might be whatever headphones you're using or whatever system you're listening to on. Basically, the basses need to be less dissonant. They need to be a little more upfront in your mix, and so does your kick and your snare. Well, nah, I guess the kick and the snare are fine. They just need, the basses need to be a little more upfront. But the bass patterns you have here are awesome. The sound design, the way it pans left and right, it's dope.
Killing the flows, the sicker than mostly fitting the flows, no weather the mostly. Never yet part, I never yet flop, never yet hot, I never yet hop. Keep up with yard, I never yet drop. All of my talk and all of my chat. Squillies and gong, the legend is long. We give them it hard, we give them it strong, we give them it rough, we give them it long, we give them it right, I never yet wrong. Sweet and the victory, the hotter the buckle, the bigger the cover, the fatter the buckle, the base of the rockle, I might have a knuckle.
Road with this, mash up the place. Fuck.
Okay, that bass right there. That's the one bass in this entire thing that I don't think fits. I just don't really like it that much. I don't know. Honestly, just this whole kind of bass part right there, I'm not a big fan of. I don't like it very much. I feel like it could have been better.
We must rock the place, the place. We must rock the place.
Alright. Yeah, the outro, there's nothing I can say that's bad about it, but there isn't much I can say is good about it either. It wasn't the most creative outro. I guess I'll just say that. But yeah, cool. Nice track. I'm actually gonna like that because of just because of the second half of the drop. All right, let's do this. I just did Raw Sun, who moved around. Why? Oh, SoundCloud messaging. God. Okay, Raw Sun. I did Just Though. Alex Motsinger. I almost said Moistinger, but Moistinger. I'm just gonna do Hostel because it was the most recent one you sent. Well, the chat's fallen into chaos since Tev became a moderator. A master track, everyone. Here we go. Okay, that extended for twice as long as it should have. Just telling you right now, that should have been like half as long, but it's cool.
We will fuck you
The drop sounds cool. It sounds good. It doesn't sound great to me. I guess it's just because the intro, if you see where the levels are right now, it's all the same. The drop has the exact same hype as the intro. Now the intro had a ton of hype, so you know potentially the drop sounds fine. The sound design is not my favorite. I'm not a big fan of it. It's not that unique in my opinion. But intros just either have to make the drop super freaking heavy or you have to just tone down on the intro a little bit. Like you should be able to see in the waveform like here. You know? Let me just show. Yeah, like right here. This is the intro right here, and then the drop starts right here. It's subtle. It's subtle, but you can see where the drop starts. Like you can just see that this is kind of varying or whatever, and then the drop hits here. Like that's where that is kind of thing, and you can tell just by looking at it. You can tell second drop hits right around here.
Please cut the ringing. It sounds kind of like
I completely forgot I put that in there. Anyway, continuing, you should just be able to kind of see where it is just looking at the waveform. Yeah, shameless plug, really. And also change up, you know, variation with the basses in the second drop. do the second one. Yeah, I'll do that. It's lacking a little bit of high-end presence, like I would say on the basses and stuff. Just like, I mean, I've said this before, just Sound Goodizer / OTT. You know, if you're using Sound Goodizer, make sure to keep the low end in control because it also does boost that. But it just needs a little more multi-band compression that way. Also some sound design variation on the second part of the second drop, because it's basically the same thing as the first one at this point. Like, even if the pattern may be a little bit different, the pattern's not significant enough if the basses are exactly the same. So really like the sound effects. Yeah, the sound effects are cool. It does sound good. Basically it doesn't sound great, which is what I'm saying. So that's just what I mentioned, things to work on. Cool. Have I said cool after like every single one I've done? Probably. So Aztecs Crystal. That's dope cover art, by the way. That's just really cool. Anyway. Intro sounded dope, but the drop, like, even though the drop sounds cool by itself, it just doesn't. Okay, I can't take this seriously. I thought that was just gonna be like a funny thing, but no, it's completely distracting. And so out of place, I think, is just the best way to put it. It doesn't fit with the rest of the intro. Like, it's cool, the drop's cool, the intro's cool, it's not cool together. That's basically the thing. It's like you made the drop, and then you're like, oh, took an intro that I had from, that I made a few weeks ago and put it together. It just doesn't really work. I guess it's just the same thing, and like I'm hearing this thing. It's just like dun 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 dun. Like I'm hearing a thing in there, and I want you to bring some melodic elements from that into the front. Like you can still do that kind of thing and make it hybrid trap. You can throw the basses in there and leave those kind of heavy, unique melodic stuff in there. I'm hearing also just this dun 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 going on, and like you can blend that all together and make it a really juicy hybrid trap drop. But you just like drop that and bring in the basses, which, like I said, sound cool, just doesn't fit. So, yep, everything I said. Let us go forth and rejoice. Alistair Campbell. Let's do this. Faker. What are people saying in the chat? You should add the drop sound somehow in the intro. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. The drop is fire. It is pretty cool. Instagram. All right. Once I've finished everyone else's, check yours. Yeah, I'll check it out. Okay, gonna need some help for this one. Let me pray to God real quick. Okay, let's continue. Nope. Okay. All right. I'm sorry to say this. If this was a normal, like if this was an actual thing, it's not good. I'm sorry. If someone listens to your drop, like to the song and laughs, it's not good. I'm sorry. First of all, I know that like thing in the background is a loop because I have it. The basses are low passed weird, and like it's just odd. Yeah, the drops. No, I can't really say much about this positive. It's just not a very well made track. Have a break between the build and the drop. Yeah, that would be nice. Sound design is lacking a lot. You need some more interesting stuff going on. Hi-hats, more layers. Just make it a track, dude. We have another sound. It's a bad sound, but it's still a new sound. No, it's the same thing over and over again. Basically, take anything that anyone has said about dubstep that doesn't like dubstep and put it into this. It's kind of it. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm being blunt in this stream. I kind of said that in the description if y'all read it. So I'm just gonna tell you right now, this is not a good track. It's just. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've made tracks like this before when I started producing and when I was young at it. And my tracks just weren't good. They were very similar to this kind of thing. And it just wasn't good. You just got to keep trying and keep learning. That's really the best thing to say at this point. It's not one thing that you're off. It's just, experience. Just keep working, gain some experience. That's what Tev says, even though he's not. That blah synth. Yeah, really. It's a little strange. A little strange. Alright. Let's go. This is going to be... It's going to be the last track. Scatter. I like bass house. Bass house always gets me jamming. This song isn't. I don't really like it that much. I guess just because of the main sound. I don't like the main sound that much. The main sound's kind of cool, but I just not really digging it. That's kind of it for me. Again, maybe something like this. And the fill before the drop is a little too long. You should have done you should carry it up with the build up for the last half of that, and kept the Siren Riser going, and then there should only be one back dub right before the drop. So that's how that should work. Tev, you're just trying anything to get me to play your track. Nice change up on the second drop. Again, I don't really like the main sound, but that's just preference. And same thing goes for here. It's kind of the same thing over again. I'd add a little more stuff, a little more variation. Alright. I don't know what this is. I don't know why you need that big of a space there. You don't. But yeah, it gets repetitive a little especially towards the end. I would have added, you know, something else. Maybe go into like do what Tokyo Machine does sometimes and go into kind of a breakbeat trap kind of thing at this end part. That would be pretty cool. But just add some more change ups, add some more stuff. Spectral Sound YouTube Stream Risers, $200. Yes, I will make a sample pack. I'll be working more on that. What is playing? Oh, something just started playing. And because I said I'm going to do it, I'm going to play Tev's track because it's not finished. Of course it's not. And then it's not finished because I haven't reviewed it. I'm going to play Ted's track real quick. I'm not going to do a review. Just going to do it because that would be catering to certain specific peoples, and people would get mad at that. But I love my boy Tev, no homo, so check him out.
I believe that you can be the very best at anything you want to be, purely because you want to. And because you want to, you can do it and you will do it. That's just how it is. If you want to do something, by God, go out and do it. Don't let anyone say that you can't. Someone tells you that you can't. Look at them and say, yes, you can.
Oh, that is Mad Cat? That's actually cool. Wow, your track is actually cool.
Just because something's hard or difficult doesn't mean that you shouldn't try to do it. When you look at something, you want to be able to say, I did that. Because once it's said and done, you're going to be more disappointed at the things that you didn't do in your life. So if you have a dream that you're trying to achieve...
Yeah, I just gotta say I really like the talking. I've added the talking in a lot of my my tracks before. Precipice. But like, it's nice. It's good. It's good, fam.
Or something that you want to do with your life, start working towards it. Let the excitement of achieving the dream you have fill you up. And if you do that, even if you seem like you're getting nowhere, you'll remember how badly you wanted to achieve it. And if you let that happen, no one can stop you.
Oh, you said it wasn't finished yet, so there's more to come. Follow Tev because I said so. Everyone, you can do that now. Yeah, there we go. I actually have to leave to pick up my sister. So, that has to be done, which is why I couldn't stream for like that long. How long have I been streaming? I don't even know. Oh, I've been live for over an hour. That's fine. It's no problem. But, yeah, thank you guys for being here. I'm sorry, everyone, I could not get to. I knew I eventually could not get to people. I even apologize for that ahead of time. But yeah. See what people are saying. Nike logo. Great. Yeah, I'm sorry. was a nice experience. Wait. How are you next, but the other guy just said he was next? Doesn't make sense. And also, I raise my eyebrow a lot more than you think I do. Just normally, I have hair in my face, so you can't see it. Yeah, I should do this more often. Just like casual streams of track review. I probably won't post them when I do that, because nobody really wants to watch them. Everybody's just in here for the promo. That's right. Yeah, Tev, join me next time. Whenever I have time to dadgum stream, I'm quitting my current job at Walmart because I'm got a job with Ghost Hack, that company in the UK. I'm got a job as a sound designer for them. I'm gonna announce that in a video. But basically, I'm trying to finish that up and doing school and getting out tracks, which I haven't posted in so long. But new tracks coming out Halloween. You can keep updated for that. Plugs everywhere. Plugs. Anyway. Alright. So every time I try to stop the stream, I do my outro. And it cuts my outro off. Doesn't matter how much time I give beforehand, it always cuts my outro off. So what I'm just going to do here is I'm just going to end with thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?